Hello, my name is Sarah. I am Chief Operating Officer at Sapphire Butterfly Productions. This is our first video of a series we are calling Behind the Wings. This one is going to be about makeup design. Just kind of a fantastical makeup design, not so much a normal one, not so much with special effects, but just kind of a fantastical, glittery type makeup design. First, you'll need to get to know your character. I am doing Ursula for this one. It is a makeup design I have done before. So you'll want to read the script if there is one, or get to know them. It kind of goes with step 2, which is research. You'll want to know when they existed, where they existed. So for Ursula, the when can kind of be whenever you want it to be. The place obviously is in some type of body of water, whether it's an ocean or a lake. I mean, she usually lives in an ocean, but you could really play around with it. The one that I based mine on is from the show Once Upon a Time, where Ursula isn't necessarily a octopus all the time, but she kind of turned herself into an octopus after she got into a fight with her dad. So my makeup design is her transformation. She's not fully octopus, but she's not fully human either. You'll want to get inspirational pictures, and that could be of the character if there are other ones, but you don't want too much of that because you could get into duplicating somebody else's. You more want, like, for Ursula, I picked shells and octopus and water, and she has some pet eels, so I put that into my makeup design, and just the dark depths of where she typically lives. Then you'll want to draw it up, and to draw it up, the best way that I was taught was you take a picture of the front of your face and then the side of your face, and you print those out in pictures, you trace them, and then you just have your blank face. And you can draw up your makeup design, and if you make multiple copies, you can make multiple different makeup designs and kind of decide which one you like. After that, you'll need to collect your materials. For this one, it's pretty straightforward. It's just the different types of makeup that you'll be using. I'll do a special effects one where it'll take a lot more materials, and I'll kind of go over that in that video. And then you get into actually doing your makeup design, which is what I'm going to do for you guys. For my reference, I'm going to use a picture of the original makeup design that I did, just so I kind of know where to go. So first, I'm going to do purple. It is a majority of my face, so that's what I'm going to start out with. As far as brushes, my opinion is just whatever you're comfortable using. I don't do makeup on a daily basis, so I don't know as much about brush types as some people, but I know the brushes that work for me, and so that's what I'm going to be using. So my purple is just this little purple puck. It is a stage makeup puck. So I'm gonna start with that. And she lives in water, so I did the edges of where she's still human and where she's part fish, octopus, waves for like the ocean. So that's what I'm gonna do. If you end up doing something and you don't like it, or you'd like to start over, that's completely fine. A lot of people do it. Don't feel bad about yourself, especially if you've never done a makeup design before. It takes some learning and some getting used to. So don't be too hard on yourself. It's all about play, and if you like it, that's all that matters. Also, something to keep in mind when you're doing your design is when you're doing it for stage, most people are going to be at least 10 feet away, if not more. So little details aren't going to be picked up on as much as it would be in like film. So just keep that in mind. Don't do a whole lot of small details, and don't stress a whole lot about if something's a little bit off, because most people are not going to be able to tell, especially if it's not a known makeup. So I'm going to do the bottom. This is part of what I was talking about when I said she was still part human and part fish. That was my outline. I'm going to put this brush down, and now I'm going to use a sponge just because it's bigger and it's going to be a whole lot faster than trying to use that tiny brush to cover a majority of my face now. So I'm going to do that next. You can either use makeup wipes to wipe the makeup away, or you can use baby wipes. I've found out that either one works. There's not a certain one that works better for that. I'm gonna get my little brush and go back around my eye because I couldn't quite get that with the big one. Next, I'm going to do the kind of more natural skin tone, which I'm just going to put as my skin tone. So I have this kind of natural palette of skin tones. So I'm going to do that. So that's kind of my base. Everything else is gonna go on top of there. So for my left eye, she starts off as a mermaid. So I just kind of picked something that was mermaid-ish colors. So it's just this green eyeshadow that I found. And then for the other eye, I did black. Because she has black tentacles and also black eels. after I put black eyeshadow on, I went back with a black pencil and I drew a tentacle. For the lips, I have this lip, there's just 3 different kinds of lips, and I put the same one across both sides. And then I do need to go back and fix my purple because it doesn't go quite where it should. So the reason that I went back and put more purple on is because half of my mouth gets turned into a shell, and it's the half that is turning into Ursula, the evil version of her. So now I'm just gonna take a regular black, not sparkly black, and just draw a shell. So the last thing that I'll show you that I did in this makeup design is I made an eel over on this side of my face because she has her 2 eel minions in the original cartoon. So that's generally how I did that. I did have access to a little bit more stage makeup when I did this original design, but for the most part I did it. The last step is there's this setting powder, theatrical setting powder, and it's so if you touch your face a lot, like most people do, it sets it so that it doesn't come off. And then I take a brush like this and I just kind of wipe it, and you do have to be careful because if you didn't put enough setting powder on to begin with, you can wipe away your design. So you just want to be careful of that. And then you're done. You have your makeup design. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you have any questions on any of the theatrical makeup that I used, or how I did one thing or another, or if you want to know more about it, feel free to comment. If you guys have something you would really like to see us do, feel free to comment, tell us. We'd love to do whatever you want. We want to do videos that you guys are going to be interested in and that you guys kind of want to know more about. So, thanks for watching.